want to make sure that we're not oversteering so much. So we're seeing a lot of people kind of tack through and come down like this, and then it takes them a while to get back up to close hauled. And in the drill we were doing, sometimes that meant the difference between, oh, if I come right to close hauled, I can cross in front of this guy, or I've been a little bit too low and now I have to duck the entire rest of the way to go behind him, when I wouldn't have had to if I'd just been able to come right through to my close hauled angle. So keep an eye on that. Again, another angles idea is that it was kind of shifty yesterday. Even though we were out in the open in the river, we were noticing the wind was kind of going back and forth occasionally, right? So sometimes we'd realize that, oh, I could have headed up, all of us could have headed up a lot, but we didn't notice the wind had changed, so we're all sailing lower. And sometimes it'd be like one person noticed and was getting way out and on top of everybody, because everyone else was just kept going straight without noticing that their jib, their telltales, were telling them that the wind angle had changed.
All right, so just getting used to, finding the other boats around us, keeping our eyes out all the time, because that's probably the biggest thing that we did notice, right? Is that there could be a boat coming up at any time, much more than in any other drills we do. Tack on the whistle, we all stay the same distance away from each other. We're never worried about running into each other, really. But this, we've got boats going back and forth all through the drill. So really got to make sure we're watching out for those other boats, knowing where they are all the time. This group size that we have, 6 boats, so you're watching for 5 other boats out there. That's probably about what you're looking for, right? If we've got a fleet of 18, but not all 18 are coming to the windward mark at the same time. So once we get used to looking for this is about what we could expect at a regatta. So that helps us out.
When we come up to another boat, there's 3 physical options for what we can do. We could be completely in front of them, right? Or we could be mostly behind them and have to duck a little bit. But if we're coming up somewhere like this, it's kind of a shame to have to duck this whole way, right? So instead, we can just tack right here. We call it a lee bow. This is the leeward bow of this boat, so we're going to tack right there. And ideally what happens is that we're either here or further forward, and so eventually we're able to kind of climb out. We're giving them a little bit of backdraft, and so slowly we're able to pull out ahead, and then we can tack and go to the other side. But that's kind of a third option that we didn't really talk about yesterday. We can cross, we can duck, or we can do that lee bow tack. We want to make sure that we come in going as fast as we can, and then tack right here. We only want to do it if we're about bow to bow or further ahead, right? If we're back here, that's not going to work, because we're going to tack and be underneath them in their bad air and just get flushed out the back like that. So if we're farther behind than bow to bow, if we're more like this, then just go ahead and do the duck. But if we're here or further ahead, then we can do that little tack right here.
I think those are the main things for the that Tack-Pack drill, right? We got the hang of the rabbits today, and so that's how we started. And then the just really key things are just figuring out where those other boats are, knowing where they all are at any given time, so we don't have to worry about running into one of them. And then also figuring out, getting comfortable with our speed and our distance. Can I duck this guy? Am I able to tack right in front? Or if I'm, close to being able to tack and cross above him, how do I know when I am? How do I know if I need to get a half boat length further ahead, or if I can actually make it now? So this drill helps with all that sort of stuff.